Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Michael.CEO here. So I got an interesting topic for you guys today. Today I am gonna teach you guys how I was able to turn 50 bucks when I was like 14 years old into like over 30 grand. It's a crazy fucking story. I was literally 14 years old. I borrowed 50 bucks from my mom, turned that shit into 30 grand in under 2 months. If you guys wanna know how I did that, stay tuned. Let's get the intro rolling. See you guys on the other side. I don't know if that intro is pretty shitty. I'm assuming it was. I've never really made one before, but hey, you know what? What can you do, right? Okay, so I'm sure you guys want to know how I was able to turn that $50 into I think it was just under 30,000. I think I made like 28,000, but hey, you know what? 50 bucks to 28,000 bucks in like a couple months at the age of 14, that's still a lot of money. And to think it was all money that I actually borrowed from my mom, like 50 bucks, and how I was able to scale it up. The way I was able to scale it up is through social media. So I would love to get into that. But first, I want to kind of cover a couple things about like what this channel is going to be about. So this channel is going to have a couple things. It's going to cover like having a positive mindset. It's going to cover kind of like entrepreneurial skills, business 101, having a good mindset and how it can bring like lots of good things to you. I want to talk about the law of attraction. I want to talk about social media accounts. I want to talk about the power of social media accounts. I want to teach you how to grow your social media accounts. And I want to talk about some e-com stores. I want to talk about some Facebook ads, how to monetize your social media accounts. Honestly, kind of just a bunch of different ways for you guys to start earning some money doing what you guys love. And I feel like that's the biggest problem right now is everybody's just trying to collect a salary and they're not really worried on doing what they love. So I would really try and make some money doing what you love, guys. And that's what I want to teach you guys how to do. And I want to show you guys kind of how I've learned to do that. So yeah, let's get into it. So my main thing was social media, okay? So I approached my mom and I was like, hey, I got an idea. I think I can take social media and make a lot of money. She goes, why do you think that? And I was like, hey, let me tell you. Let's backtrack here, okay? So I was in grade 10 at the time and my buddy comes to school and he's like, man, I just made like $1,000 today. And I was like, $1,000? Dude, like I have like $1 to my name. How the hell are you making $1,000 today? And he's like, I manage a bunch of rappers. He's like, I'm famous on social media, this, that, blah, blah, blah. And so it like really intrigued my interest. So I did a lot of research. Like, I mean, a lot of research into this. I probably spent, I'd say, at least a month just researching social media and how influencers work and how you can make money on social media and how brands are actually willing for you to pay to promote their product on your social media. So I was like, wow, I didn't even know this was a thing. So by my friend introducing it to me and kind of teaching me a little bit about it, it really opened my eyes to a whole new world. As I got more and more in depth with it, I actually found out that my buddy was lying and that he actually wasn't social media famous. He wasn't making any money doing all this. He just had heard about basically these other people doing it. And so when he basically made up this little elaborate lie to try and look cool, it had then forced me to do the research myself and to actually learn. So I honestly accidentally taught myself this skill on how to monetize my social media. And so that's where it gets interesting. So now I go to my mom and I'm like, hey mom, like, tell her the story that I basically just told you guys. And I'm like, I need to borrow 50 bucks. And she goes, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't wanna just give you 50 bucks. I said, no. Let me explain. It's for my Twitter account. I'm gonna pay people to retweet my tweets. And she looks at me like, are you fucked? And I'm like, no, Miles, like, it's gonna work. I'm gonna get rich off this. Just trust me on it. And so she's not impressed with me at this point. I was like, so I explained a little bit more in depth. I was like, hey, the way it works is I'm gonna get this $50 and I'm gonna contact another Twitter page and I'm gonna say, hey, can you retweet some of my tweets? That way I get exposure to their followers and maybe I can get a couple hundred followers, couple thousand, whatever it may be. So I find a page and it's related to my not my Instagram, it's related to my Twitter page. And I contact them and I email them. I say, hey, how much do you charge for a retweet? They said that they'll do one retweet for $10, I believe it was. So I purchased one retweet. The retweet got me, I think, a couple hundred followers, something like that. I don't remember the exact numbers. This was like 8-9 years ago. It's quite a while ago, but it got me a couple hundred followers. So now I'm excited because the issue is my when I first started, I had 0 followers. So no matter how often I was tweeting, nobody was seeing it, nobody was retweeting it, and I wasn't gaining any followers and I wasn't getting any exposure. So once I bought this first shout out and I got my first 100 followers, now whenever I would tweet, I would get 1 to 2 retweets, which means there's a chance of someone seeing my content, someone ending up following me, etc. So I spent all $50 all on the same account, and I basically got my account to like 2,000 or 3,000 followers. Once I got my account to 2,000 or 3,000 followers, I started earning like 50 cents per retweet. So other pages would pay me to retweet them, but it was like really small amounts, like 50 cents, if that. I think I used to charge $1 for 5 retweets, to be honest. So like 20 cents a retweet, which is pretty sad, but whatever. I had 3,000 followers, right? And it only cost me $50 to start. So I keep doing that, and I finally earn $10 all to myself. I'm like, let's go. I just made my first $10. I was like, eh. So I'm all excited, right? So I made my first $10. What do I do with it? I reinvested into my account. Okay guys, I didn't cash it out and be like, yo, I just got $10, I'm a high roller now, let's get it. No, I took that $10 and I bought another shout out. This shout out then brought me from 2,000 or 3,000 to 4,000 or 5,000. And now I was do the same thing again. I would earn $10, buy another shout out, earn $10, buy another shout out. And I just kept repeating this process over and over and over until I had like well over 100,000 followers. And by then I was able to earn $10 in like a matter of like minutes. It was extremely easy for me. So I kept doing this. I repeated the process over and over and over. And I think by the end of it, I'd say 2 months into the process, I was at around 8 million followers. It was anywhere from like, yeah, 7 to 8 million followers between all my different Twitter accounts, because by then I had started creating new Twitter accounts, and I'll get into that later. It's called recycling your followers, and I'd love to teach you guys a little bit about that as well. I'm gonna go really in depth about some social media topics, so we'll definitely get into that in the future. I'm probably not gonna be covering much of that in this video, but we will get into that. I just kind of want to do an introduction. So, but yeah, so I ended up getting to like 7 or 8 million followers, and I remember I would get paid an average of $400 per advertisement, and I was posting 3 or 4 of them a day. So I was making like a minimal like $1,200 to like $1,600 every single day. And like, this is like literally like, I'd be laying in my bed in my underwear with a bag of chips, and I'd make like $400. I remember one time my dad comes in my room actually, and he's like, hey, what are you doing over there? And I'm like, I'm just chilling. He's like, are you still doing that Twitter stuff? And I was like, yeah. I was like, actually, I made like $400 this morning. And he's like, I want you to stop this right now. He's like, this has to be illegal. There's no way that this is real. And I was like, Dad, I was like, it's the internet. Like, anything can happen. Like, chill. And so he just wanted nothing to do with it. He was not happy with me doing it. He didn't appreciate it. He didn't accept it. He just wanted nothing to do with it. He kept trying to tell me to stop, but I didn't. I kept going, kept growing, and now I'm kind of here where I am. That was really the first adventure I ever took on social media. From there, I've gone to open up a few companies, and I've actually gone now, I'm developing an app that's it's meant to connect different influencers and stuff. So it's gonna be big. I'm really excited about it. I'll get into that on another video as well, but that's kind of my introduction. So thank you guys so much, and peace out. Michael.CEO. Ciao.